Hey everyone, happy late Thanksgiving. And to celebrate Thanksgiving, I went Black Friday shopping, even if it was a day late. So today, I've got not one, but two products. I'm excited because these are the first ones I have in this range as well. First off, I'm going to start off with unboxing one of these. I'm going to get in this bag. First off, we have the 2022 Wooden Railway Thomas. Now, I'm really excited to have this model because these are kind of hard to find nowadays. Like, the only physical store you can find them in is, like, Barnes & Noble. Other than that, the only places I know that you can find them on are Amazon or eBay. I was really excited to see this. When I went there once, they had, like, a small section which was with their Brio trains, which only had, like, one model of Thomas, Percy, Diesel, and Kenji. Today I discovered that there was a section that I missed last time I'd been there. And so I got pictures with like every Wooden Railway product there, but I only ended up coming back with two of them. So first off here we have Thomas. As you can see on the box here, it's describing the product. Well, I mean, obviously. I really like this style of packaging as it's different from the original Wooden Railway range where it was like completely plastic and the product was inside where you could clearly see it and there wasn't a picture on the front of it. Now, what's significant about these are that they have a lot of detail on them, more than the original Wooden Railway range, and I thought it was about time I had an upgrade. Like, I love the original Wooden Railway range to death and back, but I thought it was time for an upgrade. Now, I'm going to open this up. Inside we can clearly see Thomas right here. I'm going to use my pocket knife to try to get it off. Might not be the best method, but I'm kind of out of solutions. Hang on here. This thing is a little hard to cut. Like, you know, the glory of the original Wooden Railway items was that they were just already in there. They weren't like attached with like strings or anything. Hang on, I got it. But these ones, I guess, are like attached with other things, like wire to hold it in like this. So anyway, yeah, here's the product. Wow. Just the fact that I was able to get a hold of this is phenomenal. Now, I am working on an upcoming Christmas special, and I was originally going to use my original Wooden Railway Thomas and Percy, but now that I have these, and I haven't filmed any scenes with either of the aforementioned characters in it yet, I feel like that would be an appropriate time to put these two models in. Now, as you can see here, this one involves way more details than the original did. Like, I love how it has the, if you look closely, it has the rivets and handrails Thomas gained in Season 23. He also has some additional ones, like, I don't recall any being on his splasher in that season, but yet they still went ahead and added it. Not saying it's a bad thing, I like it. And I also love how these wheels have designs on them, too. Look a little more realistic. The face is also looking really good as well. I also love how they added a buffer beam up here, whereas on the original Wooden Railway range, they did not add that. That's the cool thing about this range, as I've mentioned before, is that it has way more detail to it. The back, however, I do wish there was some design on the back of it, maybe like the red lining on the back of his bunker or a back buffer beam. Not saying that it makes it a bad model, I'm just saying that that's one thing I wish they would have done with this model. But yep, it's a great model, and I'm happy to start off the collection with the #1 engine himself, as I felt having the two of the main characters start off the collection would be the most appropriate. As I'm ready to move on in the range, I'll still use my original Thomas Wooden Railway model occasionally, but this might be the sole Thomas that I use for videos now. Anyway, we'll move on to the other item I got, which is a Wooden Railway Percy. Same thing as Thomas, I love how he has all the extra detail on him. If there's one thing that concerns me, though, it's the expression they chose for Percy, as he looks like he's just seen a ghost. And I feel like it would be more appropriate if they put the same happy face that they used, because on the original Wooden Railway range, every classic variant of the character, well, with exceptions of like Smudger or Big City Engine, all had happy faces. I'd be okay if they sold this as like a separate surprise variant of Percy. And we have had some happy-faced versions of Percy in the range, but they haven't been like classic versions. Like they've been available in the Celebration Engines range that has finally been released. And when I saw that, I was excited to see that the Wooden Railway range was finally releasing something, as I feel like nowadays it's kind of on autopilot. Like, we haven't really gotten anything new ever since 2022, but like we haven't really gotten anything, like, it's not really discontinued, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's kind of on autopilot. Like, there have been characters I've been wanting to see in the range. Like, I've personally been waiting to see if they'll release more characters, like Flying Scotsman or Duck, which are both characters I've really been wanting to see in this range. Because as of right now, the only characters that are released are like the main Steam Team members: Edward, Henry, Toby, Diesel, Hero, Rosie, and Kenji. And then our only road vehicle is Kevin, and then we got the Troublesome Trucks, then Annie and Clarabelle, who are exclusive to a Knapford Station set, and then Cranky and Bulstrode. So I feel like the range is on autopilot, but I don't think it's going to be discontinued anytime soon. So anyway, yep, here's Percy. Just looking at this model, I'm like, wow. Another neat model in the collection. Like Thomas, I love all the little detail that was added onto Percy. Like, I love how they added the rivets and handrails on him. And I love how the back of his bunker up here is a separate plastic piece, whereas on the original range it was a design that was printed on the wood, but this one is like actually a separate piece, and that's the cooler thing about these, is that I feel like they became upgrades from the original range. Like Thomas, I'm glad they added a front buffer beam on here, and I wish they would have added one and a tail lamp on both of these characters, as a matter of fact, on the back. And something else I neglected to mention for Thomas that I just remembered now is I love the insides of these, how it looks like their fireboxes are glowing. That's a new feature that I don't think any range has added to their products yet. I am hoping that maybe one day we'll get other different face variations of Percy, and maybe some of Thomas too, as this range was made to coincide with the late CGI series of the show, mainly the Big World, Big Adventures era, as I'm getting vibes from their designs here. Like, I'm glad we still have a few ranges in the Thomas fandom that aren't primarily based on All Engines Go. Like, I'm glad this Wooden Railway range is taking a time, and despite the original shows ending in January of 2021, we're still getting products based on the original show. And the Bachman range are still releasing characters from the original show, too, because according to them, they have no plans of stopping, as the reboot has no impact on them. And things like that make me happy, that there's still people that care about the original Thomas still. It's showing that while it's gone, it's not forgotten by releasing products that are based off the original range. Another thing I really love is, in the original range, Thomas and Percy were about the same length. Percy having the same length of chassis as well, only without a wheel in the middle. But the thing I liked about this one is that they bothered and went the extra mile to make him a bit shorter than Thomas and make his wheelbase seem a bit shorter. It's their way of saying, hey, Percy's a bit shorter than Thomas. The original range didn't really do this, but we need to make him shorter in length to show that he's not the same size as Thomas. And I respect that. I respect they went out of their way to do that, because they didn't have to put all this hard work into them, because they could have just done what Wood did and called it a day. But no, I feel like they were making these models just to show that people still watch and care about the original Thomas and Friends range. Like, although it's gone, it's not forgotten about. And the way they've written their names on the bottom is new too. I love how it's not like going all the way across and it's just written in a small Arial text on the fronts of them. And yep, that's pretty much all I have to say. I love the face details as well. And yep, that's pretty much all I have to say. I know I've been a little slow, but I didn't really write a script for this video. I'm just kind of speaking on the spot, so if I seem a little slow, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye.